We do it. That's all I wanted. Good. It's 4:11 in the morning. I've been fiddling with these antennas, and I think I got it right where I want it. You tell me, are we doing it? Are we doing 4K video? Are we doing it? That's all I want to know. Are we doing 4K live stream? 5 points. Are we doing it, ladies? Let me log in and see. Are we live? I can't tell if we live or not. Are we live? We live into his air. Now I gotta fix the screen. I didn't want to change all the sizes of everything, and then it don't work. I feel kind of stupid having to change. Let's see. Are we live? Like we. Oh. I just want to live. Gotta resize everything. Are we live? Haven't dropped any frames yet. Let's test it. Gotta test it. Are we live? Let's resize the screen. All right. We got a 4K screen. You can make it bigger. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on then. Boom, boom, boom. Come on. Come on. Alright, y'all, I'm hard at work here. Y'all might not believe it, but the young man is working. I am working. Right now, I'm making a banner because there's no need to use that other picture. Oh, I spelled my name wrong, ain't that? Okay, but we need a background. Background opacity. Can we change the color of the background? Something. Look. Oh, I spelled my name wrong. Been done. All right. So here it is right here. I'm gonna transform the screen. I'm getting a tapping sound. What that is? Raining? I don't know what it's. Okay. Color that. Let me take it out. How does it look? What about orange? There you go. Okay, there you go. Sure. Picture. I don't think we need. I don't think we close that out. The other. 29. Come back up to the chat room. I didn't put a chat in. That's here. Want to work? I don't know. All right, y'all. We doing a 4K test. Come on, y'all. Somebody let me know what's going on. Pop the chat out. Live chat. Pop that. I ain't dropped no frame. On 73. On 76. All I did was that antenna around. I unplug it. Go ahead. I ain't touching that room. Man, we really don't even. I got the chat right there, so we really don't even need. I don't need. Take that chat here. Chat way over there. See, this is the problem. You gotta resize all this stuff. Get it at 2K. Now we gotta out to 4K. Those of you who don't believe it, you know, probably gotta go from a screen. Hey, we're doing 4K. Gotta do work. Type something. Hey now. All right, we just heard our first flinch. Had our first flinch. Right, it's showing. Definitely got. How that would look if you. What if you divided it? Put that one over. Other chat. Let me rename that. Don't do it. Name last chat. Last. But you got cheat. Just can't do. You can't do your job, can you? Come over, so you're blocking it. All you gotta do, just job, baby. All you gotta do. Yeah. Let's fix the real chat. Got them both going side by side. Chat room. No, I didn't actually do all that, man. Do what you want to do. All right. That's up. Okay. Man, we gotta fix those media player. Oh, I think press that up. Press that up. All right. Got stretched out. Have to do this was something. It was. The real picture. It don't know what the problem. You gotta leave that there. God. Go back to Streamlabs. No, not Stream. Excellent. And it's too far out. Still not right. Bye. Bye. Still not right. Bye. Bye now. There we go. See that? Perfect fit. All right. Why not? Red pick. I could put it there. It won't hurt. Red. How's it? My ugly. Like a minute. Go to cheating. What are you doing? What is this? See that I had this set up already. You really gonna? I didn't hit that. gonna do me like that for real? You know you wrong for that. My picture blocking the screen. That's what the problem is. Wait a minute, something ain't right here. That's still not right. I who say this stuff is easy. I want to know how it's not right. Right thing. It's still not right, but it's close enough. Now please don't move it no more. Killing me. Where's the red at? Got the Windows Media open. Red open. Clicking on the wrong thing. I stretched it out. Okay. Yep. This is why it's so hard. Take my pictures, copy them. I do so many things in them. Now, it's too bright. Go to filters, chroma key, go to opaque. Too low. You gotta bring it back. You gotta bring it back. I don't want my face to block the words, but I still. There we go. Both chats are going. Chats are going. Windows Media opening. Close it. What's next? I don't know why it's still there. Honestly. All right, anime. Added into. Oh. Of the animes. I know YouTube is saying this boy lost his mind. I fled. Please close that out. You know what? Off of that. Red ain't free. Gotta fix it. I thought the red was up there. Oh, sir. Red doing. I don't think the red up. So far, so good. Probably not chatting in it. Good. All right. All right. What are we doing? Setting our screen up. Are we done? Got them. Let's see if we can play some video. World. What I like to see. I just need.
For being a post that had been Jeff McAdams story live from downtown. Apologized, promised investigation. Yeah. We're told back in left the man dead.
If you go sit down.
Take a look at it right here. It's a tutorial for the guy, Leonardo Ibarra, laughing emoji, side. Officer 1 back in Ibarra as robbery. Stop him. Officer got him, passed away from his injury. Officer I want to apologize for this wounds. I want to community lightly take value. The officer post have been on post. Parent with our hesitate to hold our officers clearly critical communities. I want behavior is not acceptable. Men and women.
Revolving around back in the shooting back in June, and it came at a time when there was rallies, cries for social justice, when BLM started becoming big on social media, and what happened here in San Diego ended up being not just a big deal here nationally. Ultimately, officers are allowed to go back to duty. Coming up, say they don't just fire officers for something like this because he in fact posted it. Somebody hacked his account, they think, possible girlfriend or a friend, wanted to post it to be funny. They need for 100% an officer. STP, Epic Adam, Fox 5 News.
Tomorrow,
kick him to the curb.
First debate is over, and Fox.
Kick him to the curb. Oh man, go back.
We're watching this debate around the world here on CNN in more than 200 countries and territories. Clearly, this debate was an embarrassment for the United States of America, a clear embarrassment. I want to bring in CNN's fact checker, Daniel Dale, who's been very busy tonight scrutinizing everything we heard from both candidates. Daniel, first, the big picture. How much was fact? How much was false?
Well, it depended, Wolf, on who we were listening to. I think it's important for us as journalists to say when both sides are not alike. We're not alike tonight. We had an avalanche of lying from President Trump. Biden, conversely, made at least a couple false or misleading claims, but honestly, he was largely accurate. There were times during this debate, Wolf, where President Trump's every line, specifically on mail voting, almost every single thing he said during that concluding section of the debate was inaccurate. And the other thing that stood out to me, Wolf, was that these are largely false claims the president has made before. These weren't one-time slips or gaffes or errors. These have been fact-checked. He keeps saying them, and they're still wrong.
Let's turn to a specific claim that was made by President Trump about former Vice President Biden's health care plan. Listen to
the bigger problem that you have, you're going to expect 180 million people with their private health care that they're very
That's
happy
simply
with.
not true.
Well, you're simply going to socialists. You're going to socialists.
All right, Daniel, break that down for us.
Biden was correct. That claim is simply not true. You may recall the Democratic primary in which a leading candidate, Senator Bernie Sanders, proposed a Medicare for all plan, a single-payer plan that would indeed have eliminated most private insurance, about 100 million people with private plans. Biden rejected that approach. What Biden is proposing is something called a public option that allows people to voluntarily, if they want, enter into a Medicare-like program. But if they want to keep their own insurance, they can. So bottom line, this claim is just inaccurate.
Let's turn, Daniel, to the economy. President Trump's claim about manufacturing jobs created on his watch. Listen.
They said it would take a miracle to bring back manufacturing. I brought back 700,000 jobs, brought back nothing. They gave up on manufacturing. Part of my standard fare.
Commercial. Commercial.
So everything about that claim, Wolf, is inaccurate. First of all, from the beginning of Trump's presidency through August, it's a net loss of 237,000 jobs. We have lost manufacturing jobs under Trump. Now, if you would like to be generous to the president and just go to the pre-pandemic crash period, a gain of 100,000. So that would be pretty good, if not for the pandemic. But the president was still adding more than 200,000 extra jobs. There were manufacturing jobs lost under Obama, but that was largely because he inherited a recession when he took office. A steep decline was underway. That turned around in March 2010. From then on, there was a slow but steady increase in manufacturing jobs until Trump took office, Wolf.
All right, Daniel, you're going to be back every 10 minutes doing more fact-checking, critically important. We're all also waiting for the first results of our instant poll to get reaction from people who were actually watching this debate. Jake, what a debate it was. Let's go back to Anderson first. Anderson.
Well, thanks very much. We're going to get a reaction from people who are watching the debate, I think undecided voters. But Ben, you were saying among white supremacists online, the reaction has been overwhelmingly
they're very happy. I mean, they feel like they've been given a green light. Now, I don't know what the president meant when he said it, but when he said stand by.
Well, I think we all know what he meant.
I just think he was saying he was going to get back to it.
Oh, come on, why did he get back to Nazis? I mean, look, on that one, I think you just might want to let him fall face on that one. So, it's shocking. My heart breaks when you were saying that, why should we be surprised? I just don't want for it to become something that people are not surprised by. I have a friend whose son was watching this on the West Coast, turns to his mom, to the mother, and asks, "We buy a gun to protect ourselves."
Yeah, well, gun sales, I mean, in a number of places.
Stay with me, because there are young people across the country. This is the only America that they know. They are growing up in a country where they can't go to school because somebody has mishandled this virus so badly, and that person comes on television and says something so terrifying to them that they ask their mom, "Should we buy a gun?" That's where we are. Okay, that's where we are. And the country deserves better than that. I think everybody knows I'm as bipartisan as you can get. But this has nothing to do anywhere. We are beyond the partisan. We are beyond politics. We are in an immoral swamp of misbehavior that we wouldn't tolerate from our children in a kindergarten class. And so there's a bunch of stuff I want to walk through in terms of like what actually happened. But this is not a normal night. This cannot become a normal night when the president of the United States.
I don't think the problem. It isn't a normal night. It is normal for this president.
Yeah.
And that is the point. And what he did tonight, this was Trump's greatest hits. I mean, it was all there. The conspiracy theories, the divisiveness, the inhumanity. It was all there for everyone to see. This is who he is. That's who came. That's what people saw. It will probably thrill some of his supporters, but it will, I predict, have turned off a lot of other people. And as I said earlier, I think, he put a sorry end to a sorry saga with his performance tonight.
I just think it's such a low moment in American presidential history that you see an incumbent president of the United States bullying, behaving in a shameful way, and declining to say how he felt about white supremacy. I mean, give me a break. And then, declining, he was asked specifically, would you tell your supporters not to be violent after this election? And he declined to do that. So when I say frightening, and I don't know whether this is what your friend is referring to, but when you say frightening, that's what I think Americans are looking at and saying, wait a minute, this is not the way democracy. And so I don't see, support Donald Trump, don't support Donald Trump, whatever. I don't see how you defend that behavior, Rick. That's what I'm talking about, the behavior that I guess we've come to expect, David, but it was sort of a crescendo tonight.
Yeah, I would say the Democrats owe a lot to Chris Wallace, because Chris Wallace asked those two questions, not Joe Biden. It was Chris Wallace who asked those two questions. And he asked them for a reason, because he asked two questions where he was asking the president to do something that he knows the president doesn't like to do. Which is say something bad about people who support him, right?
What, declining violence?
Well, talking about
the white supremacists.
Yeah, the white supremacists, number one. And number two, asking a question about whether he knows the president doesn't think this election's fair. So he thinks that the president believes that there's these not absentee voting, which happens in Pennsylvania. So there's no vote fraud in the president's mind going to happen in Pennsylvania. But in these states that mail ballots to you without requesting them, that's where he's focused his attention. And he thinks that's unfair. He thinks it's rampant for fraud. And so he asked him those two things. And he knows the president is not going to agree with him, not going to push back hard enough. And he fell into it. Look, the president, in my opinion, the gaffes, and they're worse than gaffes, really hurting tonight. In addition to the tone, and the thing that really hurt Joe Biden tonight, that if I was the Republicans, I'd be focusing all my attention on, is the fact that he did not say he wouldn't pack the court.
Yeah, man. I think in comparison to what happened on the other side, that's the only gruel you can.
I don't think it's right. I think it's a big issue. I mean, it's a very, very big issue.
It's an important issue. I think it's an important issue. You know what else is an important issue? COVID-19 is an important issue. And to hear the president of the United States, sort of dismiss his experts on fundamental questions of public health policy.
Yeah, I think the president did a much better job on that than you guys think. And the reason is the president brought this up, and that is, like, there is a cost of health, of quality of life, of a whole host of other things, of shutting down this economy. And I think he did a very good job of painting Joe Biden as someone who's gonna create. Look, addiction is up, suicide is up, overdoses is up. I mean, you've got lots of really bad domestic violence. All of these things are happening. Just ignore that because we're looking at how many people died, and we're not looking at how many people are suffering because of it. And that's why I think the president did a good job.
The trap that Biden fell into on that question, and I agree with you, is that he should have said, "I want to open this up." Trump wants to open it up the wrong way. No. I want to open up the right way.
No, you're right. So I think he should have said that on that point. The bottom line is, right now, the country is in the throes of this health crisis. The vaccine and how that's treated is a very, very sensitive thing. I think that Trump, right to the point where he dismissed as fake news, some of the criticisms of his handling of this thing. I think it was just, again, it was him sort of reflexively responding to this. And I think it's dangerous. I think it is dangerous when you undermine your own people. He dismissed the FBI director. He dismissed his CDC director. He, when it's inconvenient for him, he dismissed it on very fundamental issues of public policy.
And conservative. I'm speaking for conservatives here because I hear this over and over again, that the media is focused on one health crisis, and there are other health crises.
Yes, but you can't solve the one without the other. The reason that people were isolated was because they didn't have.
I just wanted to take a look at what people were saying. What they were saying. This ain't looking good, but he still might win. Man is. That's what's scary. Scary.
Deadly weapon suspect, so an ADW suspect who is on the run now. It is unknown at this time if that is a male or a female. My monitor's a little bit small, so I can't really make that out at this point here, but I can tell you that this person is doing whatever he or she can to avoid having to slow down and stop for the LAPD here. This initiated as a stop out of Newton Division here in South LA. LAPD's Newton Division officers trying to get this person to stop. The pursuit was on at that point because this suspect refused to give up. So now you can see he is facing southbound here. That's going to be southbound to 23rd Street. He's kind of moving in and out of this general vicinity here, just east of the 110 freeway and south of the 10 freeway for the past 10 to 15 minutes here. So this may be an area of familiarity to this person. We know that tends to be the case when people circle certain areas here, but you can also see that this person is definitely not intending to slow down or stop anytime soon here, doing everything he or she can to avoid having to give up to the LAPD here. We have 2 layers of LAPD airship, several units on the ground here, and they are in pursuit of this assault with a deadly weapon suspect here. It is believed that this person may be a shooting suspect here, so the details there are going to be, well, forthcoming at some point when this pursuit comes to an end, hopefully peacefully. In the meantime, though, you can see this person is kind of weaving in and out of some residential areas, of some commercial areas here. Now he's in kind of a residential area, and he is going to be along 25th Street from Hooper. So you can, if you are following along on a map, he's just a few blocks south off your 6. A few blocks south of the 10 freeway here, and just kind of generally circling this.
He's just walking. Don't know that's a man.
So,
that's a crazy man.
Slowing down. Okay. Is this something of suspicion here? Does he? I guess I don't know. Is he kind of playing a cat and mouse game with the officers here? Is he waiting for someone on the ground to meet? Who knows at this point here? But again, as you can see, just not doing anything rationally here, and in fact, just doing everything she can to avoid having to stop for the LAPD peacefully, which is what he or she should be doing at this point here. But for what it's worth, it doesn't look like there's anyone in the passenger seat of that minivan here. It looks like only the driver, and so that we might believe at this point that there is only one suspect in the vehicle here again. Possible shooting suspect, and assault with a deadly weapon suspect here in South LA. The LAPD is in pursuit. Guys, let me send it back down to you for a moment.
Trash can? That's why the trash man was out there. Little stop sign.
Okay.
Talking to someone.
Did he throw something into the van?
In the same street. They all are there. Gonna go home and barricade himself in. He got his drugs or whatever. Gonna barricade himself in. Fine.
Compton Avenue. No, they're still repping.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We doing our 4K test. Are we looking in 4K? Somebody let me know. Anybody got a 4K TV? Anybody got a 4K cell phone?
Yeah. You know, Frank, we kind of made mention of that. It didn't look like there was a passenger in the passenger seat. Certainly the driver there that you can see a little bit more clearly from this point here. We're kind of vertical on the driver itself. So it looks like perhaps a male driver there. You can see that Jessica had mentioned there. The driver's side windows down the side of the van here are definitely over. So is the back. So, well, I don't know what that means. If this is or not.
So we hesitating. Somebody let me know.
Definitely still. Well, going around in circles essentially through this same neighborhood here. We're only about a quarter mile, maybe half a mile south of the 10 freeway here. And this person has been just kind of generally circling the neighborhood here. So again, this may be an area that this person is familiar with, this this assault with a deadly weapon shooting suspect here, now driving kind of through an industrial area here, through two kind of sets of buildings. But there is 4 units of the LAPD that are directly behind him and are in relative close proximity here as this guy slows down. It is no doubt thought that the LAPD might be
waiting for this to end.
Rich, thank you. I'll do it without you. Okay.
I ain't want to start it and not end it. How long is this thing? Oh, Lord, this man driving around forever. All right, well, let's speed up then, shoot.
This is an area that he knows. Does he know this person? Going to pull over? Is he going to give up? What's going on? Okay, so you're seeing it unfold right as we are here at Sky 5 HD. So the person essentially pulling over in front of a location that presumably the people on the ground know him and are probably imploring this person to give up peacefully here. And there you go. Driver door open, driver door open. Okay, LAPD right there. And this guy's going to exit. Hands up. Okay, they'll likely want him to turn around. There you go. Hands up so that they can his hand position at all times. LAPD definitely has guns drawn. They might have him back up. They might have him prone out on the ground. But certainly a situation where some folks on the ground, perhaps people that might be familiar with this assault with a deadly weapon suspect here, well, maybe they were instrumental in convincing this guy to give up peacefully. Looks like that's what he is trying to do. But they need to follow through and get this guy to peacefully custody here. But they're backing him up at this point. Looks like the of officers here are going to talk to him in custody, and that is certainly something. There is still an additional concern that there might be additional suspects inside of that van here, so they are still going to be caution until they send it up to that white SUV and clear that SUV. But at the very least, the driver of that SUV seems to have given up at this point, now in custody here. So good news there. An assault with a deadly weapon suspect now in custody here in South LA after a lengthy pursuit through the South LA streets. Guys, that is the update from overhead at Sky 5 HD. Back down to you, studio.
Alrighty, they got him locked up. All right, damn, that was a long chase. God darn. That was a long chase. I didn't know that was the last train. Hey, look at this last one.
Of armed robbers fighting back and shooting both of them.
One of those suspects is dead. Senior reporter Phil Archer live on the scene on Aldine Mill route in the East Tex Freeway. Phil.
Yeah, well, it's quiet here now, but at noon today, this parking lot was crowded with shoppers going about their business when shots rang out. Now, detectives say that a couple of teenagers tried to rob a man who was getting into his truck right there, but he managed to turn the tables on them, disarmed them, took their gun, and used it to wound both of them, killing one of them. According to sheriff's detectives, the man was getting into his truck to leave when two teenagers came up to him. He told police at least one of them was armed.
He's reporting that these two suspects attempted to rob him, attempted to take his vehicle. He was able to take one of the pistol suspects and shoot both of those suspects.
Derrick had just come out of a restaurant when he heard the commotion.
They were just talking loud, arguing, just like saying a lot of cuss words. And by the time I know it, he said, I'm tired of this stuff, and he just started shooting. When the shot started, we just seen people start running. Just some people start running.
One of the suspects was wounded in the head and chest, pronounced dead a short time later at Kingwood Hospital. The second suspect was wounded, but managed to run to an apartment building across the street. He was found there later and also rushed to the hospital. Now, the robbery victim is cooperating with police. He's giving a statement downtown right now. Investigators say they expect this case will be referred directly to a grand jury. Reporting live in Northeast Harris County, I'm Phil Archer, KPRC Channel 2 News.
All right, Phil, thank you.
To us from Northeast Harris County, deputies say a man turned the tables on a...
Alrighty. OBS. We didn't drop not one frame. Holy snap. We didn't drop no frames. Are you serious? We live streaming in 4K. 5.1 audio. We didn't drop not one frame. Alright, this is success. Thanks to y'all who watched. I will see y'all later on. We are in 4K. Not only are we seeing 5 points. All right, y'all. Y'all later on today. Y'all have a great one. Yeah.